I actually think that this might be truly one of my biggest book hauls yet. Like, genuinely, look how big this is. Like, this is so many books. I can barely even hold it. Like, I'm trying to hold it, but it's literally so hard. I am really excited to show you guys all the books that I picked up. Oh my gosh, like why? Like why do I have reading as a hobby? Honestly, there are worse hobbies that there could be out there. So we're gonna go through all these books. A lot of these are Christmas books. We also have a lot of contemporary fiction, romance, all the things. I'm gonna go through these. You guys know in one of my last vlogs that I went to local bookshops and grabbed some books from there. I'm always supporting indie authors, and a lot of indie authors, they share their books on Amazon. So I will forever be buying books wherever I can support small authors, and that's, I feel like, where I can find most of them. This package, the first book is a Christmas book, and it's called Effing Under the Mistletoe by Brianna Dene. This is an author that I already love, and I feel like if I'm gonna read a Christmas read, I wanna read a book by an author that I already know and love. I don't really know too much of what this one's about. This one's very short. It's only 75 pages, but I've read 2 books by this author, and they're always really fast-paced, really fun. This one's gonna be one that will definitely be fun. I also have a bunch of books in this stack that are obviously Christmas books, but they're books that I feel like a lot of you guys haven't heard of before, so we're gonna open these together. I also picked up Work Husband, and this is a new cover. I've read this book already, absolutely loved it. If you want an absolutely unhinged thriller, please pick this book up. It's so good. And this also says it's a special edition with an alternate ending, so I feel like I need to read this again. This story is wild. This is the book that whenever I was hanging out with Chaz and Taylor, Chaz was like, oh my God, you have to read this book. She was like telling you guys that. This is the book. They just have a new cover. So definitely pick this one up. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's such a good thriller. And this is a book I always recommend to new readers if they're like wanting to get into reading and it's like kind of daunting for them because that book is super fast paced. We are going to also go through this entire haul super fast because I am going to get my hair done because I am going out of the country. And I want to make sure that I have time to do that, and I have to leave here in 20 minutes. So this next box has 4 books in it. The first book is The Belle of Linley Cottage. Do not ask me how I find these books, guys. Like, a lot of the books that I find have like 50 reviews on them, 10 reviews, like by small Black authors, just small authors that no one knows about. Don't ask me how I find them. Like, I dig deep in the trenches to find these books. And this book looks so cute. And it is a book where there are picnics and roaming bookstores, and it says that this is like maybe a summer fling, but then when the summer ends, like, do they want to be together? That kind of vibe. Even though this is a book that is giving summer vibes, I feel like I'll still really enjoy it just because whenever I want something like that's gonna put me in a good mood after like a heavier read, I feel like these are the types of books that I pick up. I will link all these books below so you guys can pick them up if you want to. I also picked up The Fiancé Favor by Joanne Kimber. This is an author that I've seen a lot on TikTok, and she's just shared that this book is a spicy read, but it's also kind of like a slow burn, which you guys know I absolutely eat up. And this is a book that is another small town read. Gail, she works hard, she plans for the worst, hopes for the best. Her life is a relentless pursuit of stability for her family until a sudden devastating turn of events forces her into hiding. Now she's a fugitive, and she flees the island she calls home, the life she painstakingly built, and the family she loves above all else. And that's when she goes to Crescent Bay. So I've never read a cutesy romance where the main character is a fugitive, but I feel like this will be a really good one. And also in the inside of this book, the pages kind of look like the Chestnut Springs series. Like, there's really cute inserts and they're like bigger words and smaller pages. So this one will be fun. I also picked up Below the Barrel by Tanisha Headley. I read Teach Me to Fly, which is a book by this author that only has 50 reviews on Goodreads, rated at 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's one of the saddest books I've ever read. And it was like a ballet romance where like both characters dance, and it's just so sad. Love that book. Absolutely ate it up because I love a heartbreaking read. And so this is the second book in her Seaside series. I already have the first book, haven't read it yet, but I want to read it very soon. And this is the second one, so cannot wait to dive into this. I don't even know what it's about, but I want to continue the series because the third book comes out, I'm pretty sure, in a month or two. I also picked up The Situationship by E.M. Wilson. And this one says, all passion, no promise. It says that their secret from years ago threatens to topple the delicate agreement that they make together, and the pair might end up breaking their biggest rule. I usually read like the last little paragraph at the bottom because I feel like that gives me just enough to like make me interested in the story, but not too much where I feel like I'm going to spoil it for anybody, especially people who don't really want to know too much about the story. This is a book by a Black author. It's floppy. I wanted to pick it up. Okay, I'm trying to breeze through these, but it's actually so hard for me because I talk a lot. If you guys don't know from watching my vlogs, like I just am a big talker, so it's actually very hard for me to talk less, but we're gonna do it because I want to go through all these. I got 4 books in this stack, and the first one I got was Love Me for Christmas by B Love. I've never read anything by B Love, but this is a holiday read. It's very short and sweet, and I feel like these are good Christmas books. Like I was saying in one of my other vlogs that I don't want anything that's like 400, 500 pages for a Christmas book. Like I just genuinely don't, unless it's an author I'm like already obsessed with. But these are perfect. It gives you like a little bit of sprinkle of Christmas, but not too much. And this one is looking like it's gonna be just a cutesy holiday read. Like it says, what happens when the city's most successful matchmaker fails at securing her own love? Her best friend takes matters into her own hands, even if it's just for the Christmas holiday. And it says Giselle has always had a knack for bringing people together, but like she can't get a date. So yeah, it looks really good. I also picked up Just a Pretty Face by J.S. Jasper. This is an author I've never read from before, but she is a Black author who has other books that I want to read. And I feel like if I'm going to read a Christmas read, I would love to read one by an author that like a lot of people don't know about or like don't have it as many reviews on Goodreads. And this one does not. This one looks like another cutesy read, and it says there's fairy lights and all the Christmassy vibes, and it said that Maddie doesn't need anything this year. Maddie's not even sure what else she'd ask for, but then this special guy trips into her life, and he's so pretty. Maybe Maddie has been extra good this year. So it looks good. There's a guy who walks into a bar, sees a girl, and slips. And then Maddie just has this like, I don't know, epiphany. It's like this guy is supposed to be for me. I don't know. It's giving like the Christmas magic-y, cutesy read. So excited to pick that one up. I'm also reading a lot of these books like backs for the second time with you guys, but I like bought these books a long time ago. A lot of the time I'll buy books and just like wait to do a big haul with you guys. So I picked up Rumor Has It, this is by Katura B. This author wrote Selfish, which I rated 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was a wild, wild ride, very heartbreaking. If you love an urban romance, it's a great one to pick up. This is a book that is set in high school, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to give like Gossip Girl vibes. So really excited to read this one. And then I also picked up Dear Vicky because I gave my cousin Chaz my copy of Dear Vicky. And y'all know I love me some Octavia Grant. I need these books on my shelf. And so I ended up picking this one up. So this is about a guy who literally sees a girl at the grocery store, and she's like a teller or like checking people out at the grocery store, and he literally is like, oh, she's my wife, like she's my future wife, like absolutely delusional, and I loved every second of it. I also have another box right here. I'm trying to get through this, but we only have like 10 minutes, so we gotta move quick, guys. I wanted this video to be like 20 minutes, but this is also making me realize that a lot of my videos are way longer because I just can't stop talking. This stack has 4 books. Saint and the Queen by Desiree is a holiday Christmas book, and I cannot wait to read this because I read The Perfect Sisters by Desiree, ate it up, rated the first book 5 stars. So I feel like reading another book by the same author is going to be good. This is an interesting story because it says that Eve Noel has been tortured by her mother's careless dreams and delusions her entire childhood that her absent father is actually Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus. She despises Christmas, the music, the children, and anything to do with the holiday, but then one day, of course, what she doesn't expect is her mother's insanity turning into her actual reality when a real-life elf shows up at her office just before the holidays. So this looks interesting. And then there's a guy named Keenan Hayes. He's a typical guy from Atlanta working a regular job, delivering packages. He pays his bills, smokes in his downtime, and enjoys what Atlanta, his home city, has to offer. Yet one day when he returns from a shift, he finds a man dressed in a red suit declaring himself to be Santa Claus. And he tells Keenan that he has to take his place and save Christmas. Like, love it. Love it. This could be a movie. I love books like that. I also picked up Santa's Little Pleasures. This is like a spicy read, a very short read. And I don't even know too much of what it's about, but I love Lady Nisha's writing. And so I wanted to read a Christmassy read by this author. I genuinely think if you're looking for holiday reads and you don't know what to pick up, just look through your favorite author's backlist. You'll find lots of really good books. And I love Lady Nisha's writing. It's always really funny. So I'm excited for that one. Also picked up Meet Me in December. This is by Raquel Henry. This is by a Black author as well. And this is a no spice read. It's supposed to give like Hallmark vibes. And I'm excited about it. Like, it's set in a small town. Like, it's giving all, like, look at the cover. Like, is that not so cute? So really excited for this one. This is a new author to me, but this author doesn't have a lot of reviews. So I cannot wait to share my thoughts. Also picked up Unhinged by Octavia Grant. I love a good thriller, and she always adds a mix of like romance in her thrillers, which makes me love them even more. And then I also picked up some more little packages. We'll open these together. I picked up this book. It's called Dates of Christmas, and this is by Rael Knight. And I don't know who this author is. I genuinely was just like looking on TikTok for Christmas books and looking on just like Instagram, like all over, because I wanted to find more books to be able to recommend to you guys. So I'm going to actually share a holiday video with Christmas reads. Maybe I've already shared it actually, I don't even know. So maybe some of these books will be like repeats, but I want to share some Christmas reads that I loved, and I also want to share some Christmas reads that I want to read, and this is definitely going to be one of them. This one says that she like doesn't really love Christmas. She's navigating loss and love and the fragile hope of new beginnings. Will the two characters in this, will their differences bring them closer or tear them apart during the Christmas season? So it looks good, and it looks like it's going to be like a deeper storyline, which I really enjoy as well. It says that the guy, he ignored a bunch of warning signs in his last relationship, and he has one rule, which is simple: his future partner must despise Christmas as much as he does. And I mean, it sounds like they're match made in paradise. So yeah, excited for this one. And I also have this little package here as well. And again, these are super small authors. Like, a lot of these authors are like writing books for the very first time, and I cannot wait to support them. I picked up Just a Taste by Anise Starr. I love Anise Starr's writing, and this is a UK author. I've read one book by her, and it was like a summary read. I think it's called 1 Week in Paradise or something. And I cannot wait to read this one. This is her newest release. It says the only thing personal chef Noelle Jones loves more than cooking is Christmas. She has a roster of extremely wealthy clients, including the elusive and stoic Alexander Hoxton. A blizzard leaves Noelle snowed in with Alexander, and she quickly realizes he wants absolutely nothing to do with anything festive. He's the Grinch. Why is it that the guys are always the Grinch? I mean, I'm not mad about it, but it's just like funny, right? It's like you get these tropes where they're like, cutesy girl, loves Christmas, lives in a small town. She's like begging him to see the beauty and magic in Christmas, and he's like, bah, humbug. And then all of a sudden at the end, he's like, actually, I do love Christmas. Like, I eat it up every time. I also picked up these 4 books. These were my recent purchases because Farrah Roshan came out with a new book called A Forever Kind of Love. I think that this is her most recent release, or it's maybe a re-release with the new cover. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it was Yeah, it looks like it was published in 2025. It just came out. It says that it is a small town romance, and Farrah Roshan is a Black author who usually just gives like cutesy reads. Like, I didn't even know that this was coming out, and I saw like, I think someone shared on their Instagram stories that she had posted that this was like coming out. So definitely wanted to read this because I've read other cutesy books by her. If you want just like a fluffy, fun time that's like gonna be like no thought, it's just gonna be enjoyable and fluffy and fun and no trauma and drama and heartbreak, pick up one of her books. This is set in Louisiana. And it just looks like it's a cute read. The guy Corey, he's like the town's bad boy. He chased glory on the football field. He became professional. And then Maya, she is someone that he's like had something with in the past, and it looks like it's a second chance romance that burns hotter than ever. That's all I need to know. I also picked up Deadly Ever After by Brittany Johnson. This is a young adult like Cinderella retelling, so this will be really fun. This is from the like young adult section. And I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about this, but I mean, anytime that someone's gonna retell a story that's like very loved and already very well known, like I'm going to eat it up. I also picked up Hook and Angel by Kimberly Wesley, and this was actually a Wattpad book, so I feel like I'm gonna love it because I'm the type who loves mess and drama. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but anytime there's like mess, drama, and just like a wild time in a book, I absolutely love it. And this is a book about a guy who's a truck driver and a girl who's like a wealthy businesswoman, and somehow they like collide and then they start to have feelings for each other, but they're like on two different spectrums of like what life could be like. Like they're very living very different lives. And so it looks really, really good. It says, will opposites attract? And she's used to high-end things in life, and he's an ex-con from the hard streets of St. Louis trying to get by. St. Louis is also only an hour and a half from me, so like that makes me want to read it even more. Also picked up Take a Shot on Me by Leigh Karen, and this is a new release as well. On the back, there isn't anything on it, and I actually freaking love that. More authors need to do this. It says, cocktails aren't the only thing getting served at Doc's Bar. That's literally it, and that's all I need. Honestly, when there's like a ton of like things on the back of a book, sometimes I'm just like, can we not? Like, can we just like give me the bare bones, the bare minimum? Just like give me the vibe. I mean, honestly, the cover gives me more of the vibe than anything. And this is the biggest box that we have. I have about 5 minutes to get through this, so we're gonna do this very, very quick. I'm gonna try to get all these books out of here. There's so many. Again, a lot of these books are by smaller authors, so we have some contemporary fiction in there. I have some Christmas books in here, and some books that I feel like you guys haven't heard of before, so we're gonna go through these very, very quickly. I do have a box that I'm not, well, I guess I'll show you guys quick, but I already showed this in my, like another vlog that I think will already be live by now, but I picked up 4 books, and this is a Christmas book, Guess Who's Coming for Christmas. Also picked up Mistletoe Blues by Bella J. Love this author. She wrote 1201. It is a spicy, fun time. Also picked up Promise to the Snowman, and this is a book by Cami, and I've read Save Her For Me by Cami, so I feel like I'm gonna love it. And I picked up One Carefree Day by Whitney Amazine, and I've read 2 of her books, and these are no spice romances, and I also love those as well. So I talked about these more in one of my vlogs that I think should already be live, so if you want to hear more about those, you can pick those up or go listen to that or watch that. Okay, this is a very random book, but I picked up The Agony of Alice, which this is actually like a kid's book, but I love this author. She's one of my favorites, and I picked it up because I just want to like breeze through it and like remember why I loved her books. Like what about her stories made me connect with them at that age, because I feel like that was really when I got into reading. And I actually like shared, like I was looking through my old journals, like I started writing in journals when I was like 12, and I was just talking about how much I loved going to the library and I loved reading and all the things, and I actually made lists of like my top 10 favorite books at the time. Like every few months I would make a list and I'd be like, actually I think this book's at the top, actually I think this book's at the top. So let me know if you guys want to see that list, because it was actually really interesting, but this was one of the books that was very high on the list, so I picked it up. I also got Always Will by Lena James. This is actually the 3rd book in a series I haven't even started yet. You know what? Don't come for me, because I can get whatever I want, whenever I want. And this is a small town romance by a Black author. She's written, again, 2 other books. You don't have to read them in order, I'm pretty sure. But this one is the 3rd one and the most recent one that came out. I keep saying I'm going to read one of her books, and I don't know why. I just haven't been in the mood for like a cutesy read, but when I am, I feel like I'll pick up one of her books. I also got The Slums by Katura B. This is that same author who wrote Selfish that I loved, and I wanted to pick up because like I loved Selfish so much, so I need to get more of like the urban like vibe, and I need to like get more of the mess, and I feel like that story had a lot of it, and this one will as well. The other book that I shared with you guys that I picked up by this author is like a high school book, so I don't know if it's going to give the same level of like drama, so I got 2. I also picked up The Huntsman, and this is a book that is a mafia romance by Naima Simone, who wrote Church Girls. I did not realize I had already bought this book like from Amazon, and I also bought it in Barnes when I was in Chicago. Didn't realize I had already bought it twice. I was just so excited to read it. It's by a Black author, and it's also a retelling, I'm pretty sure, of Snow White. So I cannot wait to read it. The guy in this, Malachi Bowden, he is the huntsman, and he's going to kill the main character in this. Like, that's like his job. He has to like go after her, and he's her weakness. So I feel like I'm gonna eat this up. I also got Release Me by J.L. Seegers. I am pretty far into this series. I've read 3 books in the series, and I think I have 3 left, I'm pretty sure. But she's changing the covers, so I do want to get all the other copies with the old covers because I just love the series so much. And I probably will buy the new covers as well, but the second book in this series I did not want to put down, and it's called Revive Me. So good. Like, just so good. Also picked up The Fantasies of Future Things. This is a contemporary fiction, and I don't know too much of what this one's about, but it is about Jacob, who meets Sherman, a social worker, and I think that one of them is grieving the death of their mother while searching for answers about their father that they've never known. It looks really good, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of depth in the story, at least from what I've seen online, so cannot wait to read this one. Also, guys, we're cutting it close on time! I also picked up Promise, and this is small town second chance romance. As you guys can see, I'm in the mood for small town romances lately. I normally am not, but I just have been wanting like a cutesy read, and this is a shorter read, which I feel like is kind of fun for small town romances because sometimes it's like, I don't need all that. Like, I know it's going to be a happily ever after, and this is only 146 pages, which I feel like is perfect by a Black author as well. Also picked up Treble. This is by Rilzy Adams, and this says that Hendrik and Nova are not prepared for the heady, wondrous heat of the ride the 3 of them will take. 3 of them? This is, I'm pretty sure, it says it's a story told in 3 parts, but it's a polyam story, so I've never read a book like that, but I'm excited to pick it up. I have a friend who was in a poly relationship for a while, so I feel like I'm always interested to like read different perspectives of different types of relationships. And then I also picked up Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. This is probably the only author who I want to read a thick romance from. Like, not that necessarily that I want to read a thick romance. Like, if she came out with a smaller, like, shorter romance, I'd probably be happier. But the only one I will read a thick romance from, that's, like, Christmas related. I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas last year. Wasn't obsessed with it. It wasn't my favorite. But I've read other books by her, and I really, really enjoyed them. So I feel like this one could be one that I love as well. It says, nothing says I love you like trespassing, public humiliation, and a town-wide Christmas spectacle to win your crush back. And I think that this is the second book in the series. If I'm pretty sure, like, it has pictures in it. Eat that up. I also picked up Safety Net by Deanna Gray. I've read the first 2 books in this series and absolutely love them. This is a sports romance series. I think he plays basketball and she looks like she plays the flute. It says, when a jokester goalie and an anxious musician put on a show. Like, I feel like Deanna Gray's books are also spicy, but they're also just really cute and really fun. Like, if you want just a fluffy good time, and they do sprinkle like some things in that are like real life, you know, but like for the most part, it's just like a fluffy, cutesy good time. And then I picked up this book, which is one I'm most excited about out of this whole stack. It's called Adana, A Tale of Love, Lust, and Revenge. And this book, it's a riveting story of resilience. Adana's life unfolds, a haunting reminder of the strength it takes to survive, the cost of freedom, and the courage it takes to dream again. This is another book by a Black author that I've heard incredible things about. You guys know I love a heartbreaking read, and I cannot wait to read this one. This is the inside of it. You can see it's just such a beautiful photo there. And it just looks like it's going to be a really good book. I've heard nothing but great things about it. There's also another cover. If you want the picture of the girl on the front, you can get that cover too. So these are all the books that I got. Went a little bit over the time, but I think it'll be okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this haul. I hope you guys will support small authors where you can. I always try to find books that I don't see everywhere, and I also try to read books that I don't see everywhere, because if we're constantly reading the same books and the same authors over and over again, who's gonna help the little guys? Like, who's gonna support the authors that are like, hey, it's my first book, please, like, check it out? Because there's so many amazing indie stories that I feel like don't get enough hype. And as someone who shares in the book space, I feel like I don't want to just share what I see at Barnes & Noble, and I don't want to just share what I see on like the main table of like independent bookstore. I want to share the books that maybe only have 2 reviews, like maybe, don't have the best cover, and like that's okay, because sometimes that's where I find the best books. So I also want to champion diverse authors who are probably working twice as hard to get their story out there. And I also want to just like uplift them and like let you guys see their stories, because they're so deserving as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will link below all of the books so you guys can pick them up for yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.